Okay, brace yourselves. We can barely contain the joy already. Ali Ray is back for another wonderful chat, and I'm thrilled and delighted. She's over there in beautiful Maui at the sunrise part of the day, and I'm over here in dark, wintry Ireland. And it's a lovely Saturday night. Had a brilliant day, and Ali and I did a wonderful chat with her poet friend, whose name is.
Kathima Rova.
Thank you very much. I have to practice that. And he was absolutely brilliant, eloquent, humble, soulful, and the three of us just got on amazingly well. And I just had such a fantastic experience. So we're going to share that with you. But we're on the eve of the 12, 12, 12, and brrr, boom. Let's hear
Boom.
from Ali about what that can mean for
Woo.
all of us. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And Lou, you're actually really close to it. How many
Yes.
hours? You're like four? 4 hours
Well,
still?
yes,
Three
yes. It's
plus?
it's just after 8. Yeah, so four
Yeah.
hours to midnight, whatever. Yeah,
Woohoo!
you
Woo!
bet.
Feeling it.
Yes,
Feeling
we're
it.
all very
Feeling it. Feeling
excited.
it. Yes.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, oh my goodness. I can feel just collectively too the energy that and so many people actually have reached out to let me know, Allie, I'm feeling big things. Is this a massive portal? I mean, yesterday was knocking people's socks off. So I think
yeah,
I think anybody who has the ability to feel it is feeling it.
yes,
Um, and
yes. You are.
it's
You are certainly.
yes, yes, I am.
That's good.
Yes, with every single cell in my body, for sure.
Fiber
I'm
of
just
your
been
being.
vibrating, fiber of my being, for sure, for sure.
Okay.
Yes. So welcome world to this 1212, which is absolutely woohoo, divine, divine, divine. I know I was sharing with Lou earlier just how wonderful it is to hear so many beautiful souls talking right now about this time and kind of contextualizing the time that's been leading even to this time. Because I know so many on the path have felt like, are we almost there yet? Are we
Right.
there yet? Are we there? Are we there yet? For years and years and years and like,
Sure.
oh, look at these energies and oh, are things supposed to be better, right?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
kind of our
Yeah.
where can I point out there and look at something and say it's really really better.
Yeah.
And instead people have felt, but Ali, I keep pointing and holy shit, like the whole world is on fire now. Like
Right.
it was just me.
Right.
It was just me in
Right.
my personal life. But now it's like it's the whole world. But I have to say, like, this is a time truly, truly to
Yeah.
celebrate what we're witnessing, because
Yeah.
this is in fact the reflection of the light rising. It
Yes, within
truly
us.
is. Yes,
Yes.
yes, it is.
Yes.
Yes, and
Brilliant.
that the beauty of those words, as within, so without.
Yes.
We are living that. So these are
Yes.
not just words. This is experience, and the more we surrender and dissolve into that and expand our consciousness with that, we actually become that,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
which is in fact the truth of those words, is the being
Yes.
of that. um,
Yes.
and it's a beautiful thing to see what's going on actually in the world. And when I look at it, I smile because it's so easy now. Before, you used to have to really dig deep, what's going on inside me, where is my fear, where's my judgment, what
Yeah.
aspects of me am I leaving out of love.
Okay.
And right now on the world stage, we can see so many things that we can just step back and go, oh my God, oh, that's horrible, that's horrifying.
Right.
What's happening, or how could that possibly be? It brings our human
Sure.
analysis to the
Yeah.
forefront, right? And
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Sure.
rightfully so, because it's breaking hearts open too. You
Beautiful.
know,
Yeah.
um,
There it is.
there are many people who have really just kind of gone along with their programming and their lives and in quiet suffering, but
Yeah.
separate and in their own world. And now the world looks so different that you almost can't help but participate with your
Yeah.
heart. You can't
Yeah.
look
Yeah.
at things and leave them alone as if they're somehow separate from you. and your
Well
love.
said. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's
That,
for me.
yeah.
I just every time I look out in the world to just get some kind of basic information of, okay, what's going on in this realm here.
Right.
I just look and look to see what needs love, what needs
Beautiful.
my love now. And
Yes.
I think that more and more of us are actually doing that.
Yeah.
We're doing
Yeah.
that for the world and for ourselves. What in me have I cast aside? Have I judged and left
Right.
outside of my love?
Yes. Beautiful. Beautiful.
So
Yeah.
it's really
Yeah.
incredible. And these energies, you were bringing up that beautiful show with Todd and Patricia Cota Robles,
Yeah. Yeah.
whom I adore. And I mean,
Yeah.
what a magnificent being to be here in the way that she has been for so long.
Sure.
I feel so often to just in such a state of honor for the beings who have held this light
Yeah.
for decades.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Just
Yeah. Yeah.
decades, and of
Sure.
course, like I was mentioning, so many of us have said, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? I mean, imagine decades and decades and decades of experiencing time and density and radical moments of hope and expansion, followed by a compression. Again, like I
Sure.
say, this is labor. It's so obviously labor, because in labor, in nature, right, it's expansion and contraction, expansion and contraction. And when it first starts, the contractions have a lot of space in between them. You have a
Yeah. Yeah.
huge expansion, contraction, lot of space, lot of time.
Right. Right. Right.
And the closer and closer you get to the birthing moment, it
Yeah.
accelerates. And that's where we are right now.
Yeah.
It's this constant acceleration. And because
Yeah.
we're so aware of it, so many people are talking now even about that feeling of being in the void.
Yeah. 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 It's powerful. You were saying it beautifully. It's I think we all know that since 2020 began, suddenly everything was different.
Yes.
And we were just discussing some of the below the surface details that we'll probably not get too deeply involved with here tonight. But it's, as you said, it's forcing humanity. It's forcing all of us, to take responsibility for our lives at the deepest level possible, and to be very discriminating and discerning, and decide what works for us and what we believe and how deeply we believe it. This is the way my guides put it to me. What do you believe? How deeply do you believe it? Is it your truth right now? These are the questions that were, the pressures of living and the challenges and the mysteries and all of this, the confusion, the fear, etc. These things, have pulled people off the sidelines of their life and really fully involved more deeply than ever before in deciding these things, isn't it?
Yes.
And
And I
then
love what you said there about truth.
Mm.
Like, is it your truth now?
Mm-hmm.
That is such an important thing, because our conditioning has trained us to think there's an absolute truth that is the case all the time. And in fact, there is truth. There is truth, but not in the way that the human mind has adopted that. Certain things are not true all the time or in every moment. There are core truths, and the deeper you go into your heart and the deeper you go into silence, there is a knowing of that.
Yes.
But
Yes.
what we decide to call truth and what we decide to claim as our truth is changeable here in this human experience. And
Sure.
thank goodness for that.
Sure.
Thank goodness
Sure.
that we get to claim what is true for us in any given moment. And that is a freedom. And it's a freedom that many actually don't exercise, because we've been conditioned to stay in a lane and to follow protocols and to follow stories.
Yeah. Yeah.
rather than saying, wait, you know what, that was true for me, that does not resonate for me now.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
true
Yeah.
for me now? What's true for me now is I feel to be moved into action. Whereas for quite some time, I was feeling that the truth was to just stay in the background, you know?
Sure. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah. I mean, it's the way my guides put it, Ali, is the truth is what we trust. Uh, the truth is what is most worthy of our trust. And it's like you're saying, having a mind, having free will, going through this daily dance between the mind and the heart, between the inner and the outer, between myself and my perception of others, etc. All of that, my perception of myself and others, maybe. Yeah, it's very fluid and very and always moving, and yet the paradox is that we always do come back to that deepest self within us when we do sit in our silence, when we do pray and meditate and send love and compassion and mercy and light to the world. And I think that this is the blessing for me, honestly, of connecting with you as someone who is such an experienced mystic and is so fully and completely on your path. It's a joy, I say again, my friends, that we can kind of speak the same language and cheer each other on and say, are you feeling this? Yes. Are you feeling this? Yes. And it's very empowering. I think we're learning to live in the world in a new way, all of us, as
Yes.
you've said, about how the energies are changing, and yet it's all very new. So we're
Yes.
just innocent. We're
We're
absolutely innocent in
innocent.
terms of
Um,
yeah.
but that innocence, that pure innocence, more and more of us will be stepping forward side by side. It's
Hmm.
it's arm in arm, heart in heart, in that innocence,
Hmm.
naked in
Yeah.
our purity, because this whole
Yeah.
process is so many layers of surrender,
Sure.
so many layers, and beyond even the surrender, there's a point of critical mass that
Yeah.
a lot of people are moving into now, which
Yeah.
is dissolve. It's this level, and it gets activated automatically within us, and so some people have been activated by like, for instance, we'll speak to this white flame for a moment.
Yes,
And
please.
Patricia mentioned that it had come in on the 12-12-12, which was in 2019, and on that day I was on Todd's. And I'll tell you what was so incredible was
Yes.
I had this experience with this
Yeah.
white flame experience, giving birth to my
Okay.
to my baby. And that
Okay.
was in
Oh.
June. In June.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so I'm dancing with this white flame and perceiving this
Okay.
flame and looking at it, and the diamond codes, and the within white is all colors. And so I would
Yes.
see
Yes.
I would see all of these colors dancing, and I really just in this kind of I guess you could say meditative state,
Yeah.
I kept deepening into this, that it was like all of the flames are contained in this one flame.
Right.
So,
Right.
I had worked with the violet flame for many years,
Sure.
and know about its transmutation
Yeah.
power.
Yeah.
And then many other flames of healing and light and whatnot. But
Yeah.
this one in particular, what had come through to me so strongly was that this was a source flame. This was the white light, the Christed light. It's like this, the heart of source, this pure white light that holds within it all of the flames, all of the colors, all that is within this. And so
Yeah.
this fire, this white flame, is a purification with the qualities of catalyzing dissolve. So all that we are in expression of that is not real
Yeah.
begins to dissolve. And it doesn't take any of our effort. That's the thing too, is that often in the spiritual community, there's this quest and this seeking and this striving. And I'll tell you that in truth, it requires absolutely no effort.
Right.
I've said several times that we are all a beautiful flower blooming in the garden of the divine, and it is happening without our effort. We aren't doing it. The gift that we get as a human being is to participate, to choose to participate, to choose to witness it, and to have the experience of what that dance is for each of us individually. But in fact, at the highest level, it's happening. The becoming is happening within us. We aren't doing it. The human is not climbing the mountain in this case, right? In this particular particular case. And so anyway, I was literally on fire in this flame, and I was started to talk about it, and there wasn't really anyone at that time that was reflecting it back. People that I deeply love and respect, who've been in the path for a long time, I would say, what about this white flame? And they're like, oh, I haven't experienced. I don't think I have a personal experience of that. And so it was coming in, and I loved how Patricia said, yes, it was, on that day in particular, it was the catalyst codes, right? They were pouring in, and I'm like, okay, well, whenever that happens on the planet, it comes in to open, willing hearts that are ready for those things, and then it literally ripples out into the cosmos. It ripples out through humanity. So all this time that this flame has been actually here, and by here I actually mean being carried in physical beings, right? Because everything is here now, everything. But to make it tangible and livable in the human vessel, it's that 100th monkey thing. Are there beings holding that? And then it's almost like the cosmos says, okay, you're holding that. Can you hang on to it and not implode or explode or lose your vessel, right? How much of this light, how much of this can be held and still be in the physical vessel? And so it's this beautiful thing that so many have been on the planet holding, and it's been expanding and expanding and expanding. And now here we are on this 12/12.
There we go.
Right, as Patricia so beautifully said. So many of us are stepping into this now. We are stepping in consciously to this state of dissolve, right? And dissolving so that these higher realms, this highest vibration of divinity, can move in mass to humanity and lift us. This shift, it's incredible, and so many of us have talked about it, the new earth, the shift, what's it going to look like? How is it going to happen? There's a million questions that the human mind has about this. And what is really exciting, I feel, is that the more that you are on fire with this energy, and the more you do not run from it. And that's why I've been really trying to love on the world in my posts and say to you who has a fire in the belly and a fire in the heart, don't run, follow it, whatever it's asking of you to do, because whatever it is moving you towards, right? I mean, this is a fire of love, and whatever direction it's moving you towards, it's accelerating your becoming and your dissolving. So it's that, again, paradox. It's like, if inherent within everything that is moving you in life right now, if there is a paradox inherent in it, it is absolutely right on time, right aligned. It is divine. So let's quiet our little human mind from trying to think too much, or, oh, this can't be right. Well, this doesn't go with this. No, it's the polar opposites together. It's both, it's, the extremes together in oneness. That's folding in and collapsing us back into the oneness that we are, which is so powerful. This is a holy bonfire that is taking place. And if we can still our human mind and our need to try to get ahead into the future, right? If we can be here right now, we will
Yes.
suddenly, in this dissolve, open our human eyes and see a brand new world. And it is like
Yeah.
that. It is magic. It's magic. And I can only say that with all of this resonance and energy in my being, because I have experienced these things. Magic is real. Magic is not what the
Yeah.
humans have thought, it's, oh, foo-foo and whatever. No, it's real. And why do you think things like Harry Potter were so popular? Because on some level, humans know there's got to be some magic. Like this all just can't be what this looks like out here, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm just rewatching
we're
the
born
last
magical,
movie. Yes. Yes. Well, yes, exactly. No, I love what you're saying, honey. Of course, it's absolutely brilliant. John Lennon said all children are born geniuses, and then society beats it out of them, or words to that effect.
Yes.
And like, yeah, we're talking about innocence, which is, as you were saying there, and this is, what my guides call, this is the heart of the paradox, as you were talking about the divine marriage, where the will and the heart are perfectly aligned, not forever, but for that sacred moment when, the light can then enter us again, and we wake up, we awaken, and it's thrilling, it's ecstatic, it's orgasmic, it's magical, it's miraculous. And, as you're saying, I'm just rewatching Harry Potter. I do this every Christmas, and I'm on the last film right now. I'm just watching the last two. I don't watch all of them, but because of what you're saying, yes, it reminds me, just as you touched on, that we're magical, powerful beings, and we come from really a rich and deep tradition. Same with Lord of the Rings. I have to rewatch that every year as well at Christmas. So it's like, yes, where the goodness overcomes the darkness. The light overcomes the darkness, and the goodness overcomes the evil, etc. If we are willing to be vessels of that, and to really die to the past in order to be really born in the present. And of course, a mother giving birth, there is nothing more powerful, more spiritual, more sacred, more heavenly and earthly, in those experiences. It's a huge initiation. That I can only imagine being a man, but obviously it is. It's a powerful thing to be the mother.
It's interesting too, because it's like with every experience, the level of willingness and openness that one will have allows more to be.
Sure.
And I feel like, this is bringing me even to this point. This was brought up in a sacred circle I had recently too. To get comfortable with being emptied.
Yeah.
Emptying it out. The human wants to think that pain is something awful and hurry up and fix it. Make sense of it, find a story to put the Band-Aid on top of it. And I just want to say, let it be.
Yeah.
Let everything be, because in the allowing of everything, whatever the struggle might be, because I know, this is not easy. My goodness gracious, it's not easy. On any level, I would never use the word easy. Even if I say something is simple, it's a simple happening, like I said, like we don't do anything, right? We allow ourselves to dissolve. But there is a self, an us that we identify with, that is experiencing itself dissolving for a time. And that is the wild part of this for the human. The human mind is like, what? Oh my gosh, cling. Everything's clinging. Oh, if I just hang on tight, right? But it's actually like, okay, well, the entire cosmos right now is a raging river. And if you are clinging to the side, you are going to really be beat up. This is not going to be fun for you. You're going to be bloody, and it's not going to be awesome.
Yeah.
But if you let go of the side, and you just go with the current, right? And you go, and it's going to be bumpy. It's going to take you. But oh my gosh, the joy, because there is within all of us our soulful being who knew it was coming here for this experience
Yes.
is so
Yes.
ecstatic.
Yes.
It is
Yes.
like hooting and hollering in joy. Woohoo!
Yes.
It is going over every bump. It is like it can be. It's supposed to actually be joyful. That's why we
Yeah.
chose so excitedly to be here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but we have to remember that, and we have to, soothe our human experience of it. Our human consciousness needs that soothing to know, yeah, it's okay, let that hand off. Okay, you know what? You've got brothers and sisters in the river too. We're floating and we're having a great time. And when you need a hand,
Yeah.
you need that reassurance, you're gonna get that squeeze. It's all okay. And it's all not only okay, it's phenomenal. It's miraculous
Yeah.
and amazing. And the
Yeah.
level, of allowing yourself to be empty creates the space for all of this love and all of this light to come in.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
we aren't willing to cry the tears and
Yeah.
let go of the suffering and the pain and whatever, and love it and actually appreciate what it
Yeah.
is and the
Yeah.
space that it's creating,
Yeah.
as we do that, we just create more and more and more space within us. And we
Yeah.
create more and more of the momentum of those awakening experiences, and it's fast, and it's like, whoa, another one is like, whoa, I just thought I just blasted off. I didn't think it could be better than this.
Sure.
And it just, the momentum builds and builds and builds. And I think collectively, and this was, I was feeling really resonating with Patricia's words too, was
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
collectively we have achieved a frequency of harmonics, and vibrational octave together
Yeah. Yeah.
that is so high and is sustainable
Yeah.
in this dimension,
Yeah.
to the point that many of us will have the experience I said, which is it will be as though you simply closed your eyes and then you opened them and there was a new world. There's a new world, and it just is.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And within the resonance of all of those beings in that state, there will be this natural, organic co-creation of all
Yeah.
things new,
Yeah.
all things
Yeah.
new, for humanity.
Yeah.
It just is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's
Amen.
beautiful. I mean, woo,
Yeah.
woo. And how do we get there? Well, we cultivate peace within us.
Right.
We acknowledge the fire that's burning in our belly and our heart, and we follow its guidance.
Mm-hmm.
We keep breathing.
Mm-hmm.
We nurture our vessel.
Yes. Love, serve, give.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we just continue to love ourselves and to show up, truly show up
Yeah.
in every moment to our fullest ability, and to not blame or shame or judge ourselves if we feel that we are not doing that. Just bring
Sure.
ourselves back
Sure.
as we are able to the fullness that we are, and know that that's more than enough. More than enough.
Yes. 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 Trust, faith, courage, willingness, humility, surrender, devotion, like that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, again, with our poet brother there yesterday, here's a guy who grew up in Ethiopia, the youngest of 10 kids, and was fighting off the jackals to protect the goats and the sheep for the family to have something to eat that night. And didn't go to school till he was in the 4th grade, and then eventually someone gave him Walt Whitman's Leaves of Grass, and it changed his life. And he came to the States right after 9/11, which was interesting timing. And it took about 2 years before he started to be able to go out on his own and assimilate the big, bad, beautiful world at that time, and took 5 years for his wife to come over. This guy's got so much love and wisdom, and it's just pouring through him, and such humility and integrity, and is so clear about being a channel for God. You know, it was such a beautiful experience for me to be with both of you and to be introduced to him. And it's like we're saying, Han, there are people all over the world who are holding this vision in our hearts and have done throughout this lifetime. And you were talking earlier about the 60s and all of that. And because I'm a wee bit older than you might be, I grew up in the 60s, you know, with the Beatles cartoons. I was born in
Mm.
57. So I was 13 at the end of the 60s. And the Beatles cartoons and all their energy and all that music and all that color and light and magic and celebration. And, you know, we are coming back to that time, absolutely, because you know, the as you're saying there, you know, the mystic, the magical, the divine mother, the open human heart, our willingness, you know, the indomitable courage and nature of the human spirit. You know, we overcome these impossible situations, and as you and I know, it almost always happens through coming back to God and surrendering to God's will, and
Mm.
letting you know, God, Goddess, all that is, be more
Mm.
real than the chaos and the madness and the pain and the struggles that we're going through. And every time I've done that, and I'm sure every time you've done that, the door opens and the way is shown once again, and we go, wow, that could have been so much easier if I'd done that, you know, to begin with.
Mm.
So we've learned now,
Mm.
you do that to begin with, and then you see what your day is about. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, I'm just sitting here in this deep peace as you're speaking, Lou,
Great.
and just, you know, really feeling you and feeling you as the beautiful being that is human and that is all the other beautiful aspects of you, all here, all in one,
Thank you.
and just
Thank you,
loving
dear.
every second of it. Yes.
Well,
I,
likewise.
and I,
Thank
you
you
know,
so much.
I really want to tell you too that on that note where I was talking about the celebration and how as a kid, you know, I marinated in so much music. My parents loved music, so grew up listening to
Yes.
great singer-songwriters and again, you know, Beatles and that whole era. And I just in my heart felt like I always knew that there was this version of humanity where we're all dancing around bonfires and singing songs and hugging and loving each other. And
Right.
it's not, you know, it's not some version that we've ever seen because this is on such a high level of purity and
Mm.
knowing and understanding.
Hmm.
Such a
Hmm.
level of oneness that humanity hasn't even expressed just yet. So
Sure.
I always take into account like the most beautiful visions I've ever seen that have happened on earth, you know, beautiful gatherings and coming togethers and festivals and all the things. And I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, humanity is beautiful. It's so beautiful. And then there's something inside me that just says, just wait. You know, it's like, just
Right.
wait. Like, yes,
Right.
it's beautiful, but
Right.
just wait. It's so
Yeah. Yeah.
beyond speaking. This
Yes.
energy and this beauty of the truth of what we really are and what
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
looks like, what that's actually
Yeah.
going to look like physically
Yeah.
is just phenomenal. It's phenomenal. So actually, you know,
Yes.
you're bringing back about Guthema, and for
Yeah.
people who are going to see this, they can actually reference. Lou's going to be putting up another show with
Yeah.
the three of us where we got together. Guthema and I connected in about 2012, and
Right.
you know, it was this moment where I read his poem, and it felt like they were my own words. It was
Wow.
one voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I felt it in my entire being. And then, of course, I looked at him and I was like, I love you. I know you. I have always known you. And there has
Right.
never been a time I haven't loved you.
Yeah.
Um, that
Yeah.
that experience and that feeling, and then of course all these years now together, and then we've created this book together
Yes.
for
Can't
the
wait.
world.
Yes.
It's going back to speaking again about that, what you said about the divine and about that within us, and then that will, it's divine will, divine
Yeah.
presence
Yeah.
expressing through us. as humans, you know, and we recognize that in another.
Yes.
And at the level that you feel that you are connecting, right? So that every person, whatever level of energy, and there's no hierarchies, nobody's better than anybody, please, no one misunderstand that. This is just about within us, that as within, so without, the reflection, right? Our life brings to us reflections of us, of a truth about us. And you know, one of the beautiful things that came to me, and I put it out in the world, and it was interesting to hear the feedback when I first did it, but I had gotten one of those little sacred taps on the shoulder, like, wake up in the middle of the night, you need to post this. You need to post it.
Yes.
And the words were, when you have been fully emptied of all that you have known as you, only God remains.
Brilliant.
And the frequency, the energy with that is powerful. It's so powerful. And I would encourage anyone who feels any resonance with that idea or any of those words to really sit with those words.
Yeah. Beautiful.
When you have been fully emptied of all that you have known of you, only God remains. And it was, I have to tell you, Lou, it was so beautiful because Guthema sent me a note after I had put that post up.
Okay.
And he said, you are a holy bonfire.
Wow.
You are a reflection of the divine in a poem that cannot be written. And I was like, okay. But I say that because it was those words, right? The words that reflect the knowing.
Yeah.
And we feel it.
Yeah.
We resonate with that. And that is the beingness that we all are. And from that place, Lou, that's where, you know, I speak about that dance where you don't really have to talk so much, because it's a knowing between people, right? It's a knowing between us. We can finish each other's sentences. We can, in the same moment, be speaking about the same thing, you know, or pointing, I should say, you know, at a certain point, it's not really about the words and the stories anymore. It's about pointing, you know, pointing in the direction of energy and of the messages of the divine. Like, you know, it's interesting because the more comfortable we get with being quiet, which really does require those levels of surrender and dissolve. When you hit this place of dissolve, you know, I've called it like divine amnesia. What happens is everything that was.
Yeah. Sorry, I won't answer
okay.
that. Yeah.
Everything that ever was before the this particular moment I'm speaking about.
Yeah.
It literally dissolves. It goes away. Your very vessel does not hold a catalog of your history and your stories anymore. And the noise and the contemplation and the intellectual, like, I'll just tell you, I loved that in my early life. Like, I devoured books. I studied philosophy. That was my degree. I mean, I just voraciously dissolved books and philosophy and psychology. Like, I just, everything, you know, the human condition, the human stories, couldn't get enough. And the esoteric, right? And like, I just, all of it. But I noticed that I danced a lot in the intellect, and I loved it. And it served me well. It really served me well. But there was certainly this moment where suddenly there's nothing. And the nothing grew so big. And I got emptied out so completely that there is no story. There are no words. There's no concepts floating around. There's no contemplations. I'm not solving anything. I'm not planning anything. I allowed the nothing to grow into such perfection that I receive right now. I receive what arises right now. And from that place, more and more and more and more of us are reaching that place. That's where we're headed, this place of quiet, depth, being, resonance, vibration that is so complete, and peace. It is just the depth of peace, and it is impenetrable. You know, you can't bring enough fearful things in front of it to cause it to ripple. You know, there's just not. It's this immovable peace and love and knowing, and from that place, there is no way that humanity wouldn't radically change. And, you know, and that's what we're doing. This domino effect of this 100 monkey. Like, you know, and like, as you said, how fun is it to cheer everyone on? You know, it's like I have the most deep compassion and the most true, genuine thrill. Truly. Even for someone who is crying and they feel their entire life is falling apart, I look at them with such love and compassion. I absolutely understand, and I have lived my own suffering. I know. And I don't seek to change their experience of that. But I am also in my heart cheering them on.
Of course.
I am saying, yes, 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 burn, baby, burn. Let the fire consume you, because your beauty is beyond anything you can comprehend. And my heart sings at the thought of you knowing and realizing that.
Beautiful.
You know, I can barely, as you know, like when we connect, I'm like, I can barely stay in my body with the enthusiasm and the love and the vibration of ecstatic love and excitement and joy for everyone, for everyone.
Sure.
Darling, like that's just, I can't help it.
No, I know. Well, I'm gonna just be bold and ask her. Do you go out of your body a lot? Are you consciously able to do that?
No, you know what it is. Hey, here we are. So no, what it is that this experience happened where I am outside. I am aware of all the consciousness that is outside of my physical vessel and inside simultaneously.
Okay. Yes. So your light body has extended into the field.
So there's a oneness.
Yes.
With the energy, and I recognize all that is as me, including what is in the vessel, what is vibrating in the vessel, but it's all one. And it's actually interesting because, you know, we got on the call and I said, oh wow, you know, I'm feeling into the 12-7 and we're so busy. Because I am working, if you could say working, no, I'm playing with amazing souls all night long.
Okay.
So we're all very busy because there's so much going on so many levels.
Sure.
And those of us that are readying layers and levels of new creations and things are all very, very active.
Sure.
And it's interesting because as we allow ourselves to have conversations where it's not insanity to say, you know, I was over here in this state, in this space, working with these people in this way, and I could feel the ripple effect of how that energy was permeating everything, right? I mean, these kinds of conversations, they're going to be very normal.
Yeah.
They really will, because more and more people are going to actually awaken to the fact that, wait a minute, oh yeah, I shouldn't be afraid to say that I'm over here with this person or a person, a human being that I speak to during the day. I just visited at night in a completely different place, and we were working on something very specific. And then in my human awakening that day, in a conversation with that person, to me, there was evidence of what we had done. even if
Sure.
that other person doesn't know it in real time in that moment, right?
Sure. Sure. I hear you.
All of this stuff is going to become so commonplace.
Sure.
Telepathy, remote, like I'm with you in Ireland, Lou. I'm with you
Okay.
in Ireland. And we will begin to have more and more of that feeling, though, of it
Okay.
as the reality that we physically feel too. I
Sure.
do I do know that.
Sure.
Like there
Sure.
will be more and more of the feeling of bringing what we call now our physicality
Hmm.
to other places without all the effort of a plane and traveling.
Sure.
I mean, it's just going to be that because we are multidimensional. The funny thing is that it's only been this illusion. It's only the
Yeah.
veils. It's only the
Yeah.
illusion
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
that has kept us from being able to do virtually anything instantaneously because
Yeah.
there is no time.
Right. Right.
And so right now as human beings we are readying our vessels,
Right.
and we need to honor that. We really need to honor every single being in whatever place they are, because they are doing their utmost to ready their vessel for these experiences. And some people are going to take their vessel to a certain level and choose to transcend and give it another go in a new way,
Yeah.
or be a party to our joy and our celebration on another level.
Sure. Sure.
um, but for anyone who is walking this human physicality right now, who's opening themselves up to all of this, you are a beautiful, brave hero. I mean, you are a hero, and everything is working for you. Everything in the cosmos is working for you. Everything in your physical body is working for you. There is nothing in the entirety of existence that is not giving of itself its love for you. That is
Yeah.
for
I believe that.
every being, every human being. It's
Yeah.
happening. And so,
Yeah.
as we celebrate and celebrate even through our pain, celebrate. You know what? I'm growing, I'm expanding. Oop, this ouch, 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 ouch. But woohoo, I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready. It's like just shifting our perspective, even just a little bit, to take us out of suffering, bring us back into the surrender, back into the allowing of that critical mass point, which you do not have to create. I have so many beautiful souls who reach out to me who are so eager. And they're like, what do I do? What do I do? And I'm like, be. They're like, damn it, Allie, don't you have something else to tell me? I want like a spreadsheet, I want a plan. I'm like, no. And I know that when you are so eager to leap, it is very annoying, and it can be very triggering actually for someone to say, just be. But the further along you go with this, the more and more you surrender, the more you understand the power of that. That is not a simple thing. It sounds simple, just be. It is not that easy for the human to transition into a state of saying, I'm going to be, right here, right now, in this moment, whatever that looks like and whatever
Sure.
that
It's
feels
simple, but
like.
it's not easy because we're
Yeah.
not accustomed to it.
Yeah.
It's a new skill or it's an
Yeah.
ancient skill we need to
Yeah.
relearn. Sure, hon.
You know
Absolutely.
what? I actually, it's interesting, Lou, because I'm just getting inspired to talk about a little something, because this is the 1212. And
Yeah.
something that had been coming to me for several months was the number 40. And
Okay.
40, 40, 40. And then I was like, okay. And so there's 40 days between November 11th and the December solstice. So
Yes.
in this time of these 40 days, we've had eclipses. We've had two big eclipses. We have
Yep.
incredible planetary alignments. I mean, anybody can go onto any brilliant astrology site and just be in awe right now of what is
Yeah.
going on in terms of the planets.
Yeah.
But also, and I didn't grow up religious. I should actually say that, because sometimes people think that I might have grown up, but I did not grow up religious. I was introduced to a lot of religions and exposed to them, and I studied a lot of them, but I was not a person who could quote Bible verses or anything like that.
Me either.
And on my path, though, miraculously,
Mm.
I would often be in a circumstance or something, and I would hear a Bible verse.
Yeah.
And then, or I would actually get, it would say like, 2 Samuel 22. Okay, what's 2 Samuel? And then I would go and I would look at it, right? And then I would be like, I would feel the energy move through my body and be like, okay. And so in all honesty, for my journey, I will say that for me, the Christed journey, as told in many of these verses in the Bible, these experiences, they are pointers to us. This is the human evolution. This is the human path into its Christed self, into its own Christedness. And you can reflect sometimes, like on my path, I would read something and I would feel this whoosh throughout my entire body because I just lived the experience that I just read.
Wow.
But in my own physical reality and in its own unique expression. But I could absolutely point to it and say this exact thing.
Yeah.
So I always welcome if verses come through, if they need to be shared, or if I know that it's more of a personal marker for me. But so 40 kept coming in 40 days, 40 days. So I'm like, okay, well, 40 is significant in the Bible. It shows up so many times in the Bible, like at key moments, when Jesus walks on water, there's 40 days and 40 nights. The temptation, okay, the temptation of Christ fasts, and then Satan, right, the darkness, however the interpretation here, tempts him in this 40-day darkness period. He's tempted. And with every temptation, he does not succumb.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, there are people in this 40 days.
Yeah.
There are people on this earth right now that have, beginning November 11th, in through the December solstice, are having their period that Jesus did in this temptation period. They are being faced with life and death, dark and light, polarity, all of those things as it's expressing to them in their own personal being. And they are making their choices. They're making their choices. So on a level, that's happening to people. And then there are some people that are in this 40-day period, which was in the Bible, 40 days was the period from the resurrection of Jesus to the ascension of Jesus. So to talk about this in the Christed sense,
that's right.
So rising, the awakening within beings, within humanity, right? So within this 40 days, so you have awoken. You are an awoken being. You have awakened to your Christed self within you. This 40-day period is your ascension.
Okay, very nice.
So that's pretty miraculous.
Yeah, that's
I feel like what's so beautiful too is that, and I didn't do a big write-up on this or anything, but the 40 days, these 40-day periods in the Bible,
right,
speaking of it in relationship to the human experience and this 40-day period, huge aspects and components of humanity are journeying through the various levels of these 40 days. And that's so thrilling to me. And it doesn't matter where you are in that. It doesn't matter. Anyone who's listening, please know that this is such a blessing. This is such a blessing, no matter where you are in the process. It is a blessing that it is accelerating, and this portal is accelerating all through it and is giving it light and the sacred flame, right? It's the white flame. The fire is here for any willing soul in this 40 days, accelerating. So imagine you may be quantum leaping like crazy through this period. And even,
Yeah.
like I say, from 12/12 to the 21st, you
Yeah,
may
yeah,
not
yeah. That's the
recognize
last 10 days.
yourself. You may not
Yeah.
recognize yourself whatsoever
Yeah.
come the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
22nd,
Sure.
which is
Yeah.
phenomenal. And so
Yes, it is.
wherever you are, whatever is happening for anyone, this
Yeah.
is exciting. And what's so exciting is, yes, the company of heaven, all of the cosmos, all the love that source is here for you at this time in fullness. And all you need is to be and allow and open.
Sure.
Open, open, open. I remember
Sure.
as a kid, there was this commercial and it was to open the store for a sale, and they put their hand on the glass and said, open, open, open. But I feel like I just keep seeing that open, open, open. Open your heart.
Right.
Open your heart. And that's it. Like, don't think too much about it. Open your heart. You will be catapulted and carried with great love through this. And for me, Lou, the ascension, the speaking of Jesus and my understanding of that, of, okay, so he rose, he moved the stone, he came and he showed his brothers and sisters that he was here, that he had not died.
Yes.
And that everything that is true and real and of God cannot die.
Right. 100%.
So, human beings, fear not death.
Right.
Matter of fact, fear nothing, because everything is love. Everything is love. And fear cannot live where love dwells.
That's right.
So being in this love, it all dissolves. Everything that we perceive as darkness and struggle and all of that. But this part of the ascension that I'm talking about, for me, is this. So Jesus showed himself to be in alignment, in oneness with his Christed self. He was fully connected in his vessel to the divine, to God.
Yeah.
And the ascending was returning to God.
Yeah.
We are being given, oh my goodness, I might cry.
Okay.
No, maybe, I don't know. It just, a huge wave just came over me because of the awe of this beauty is that we are so loved. We are of God.
Yeah.
And we are breathed by God. We are God.
Yeah.
And God is giving us the experience of being while alive, while here, while on earth, as this new humanity. This ascension does not mean we have to leave. This means we are more here than we've ever known.
Right.
In oneness with all that is, with God itself. Living ascension. My entire body is just, I can feel the entire everything. I can feel everything.
Beautiful, sweetheart. Beautiful. God bless you. I feel you.
I feel I'm holding every being in my own heart. And it's forever. It's eternal. I'm so full.
Beautiful.
And I am so excited. Lou, we're alive. We are here.
Oh,
We're
Oh,
here for
yes.
this. We are here. We are here. And that's one thing I would love to just tell anyone. If you're
Yeah.
struggling, if you have moments of struggle, or it's difficult to be, it's difficult to find the peace, to find the center, to feel that you're loved and you're held. If you place your hands on your heart and you say slowly, I am here. I am here. I am here. And you feel that resonance within you. You're claiming your divinity. God, the I am, is here within and as you. There's no separation. So this simple thing, these little words and their breath can bring you right back to what's real.
Beautiful. Thank you. Uh-huh. Perfect.
Wow.
Thank you, darling. Thank you
you.
so much.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. You're so welcome. Will I play your magical song after that
Yes.
beautiful?
Yes.
Okay.
So we're going to
All right.
send you all off with a beautiful song, Light of Love. And just know that you are so loved and so held through this magical 12/12 into the solstice.
God
I
bless you.
so love you.
Love you. Here we go, darling. Bless your heart. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I will climb into your ocean, I will sail into your shore, I will breathe in your magnificence and never ask for more. I will be as I am written, courage on every page. I will carve this life with every breath, a sage of the age. I will turn up the fountain and fill this world with bliss. I will sing a song of joyful love and merge into your kiss. And I will stumble into beauty, recognizing that it's me. I will open up my heart and surrender unto thee. I am the child, I am the mother, I am your bride and your lover. I am everything, great and small. I am the one, I am it all. I am the child, I am the mother, I am your bride and your lover. I am everything, great and small. I am the one, I am it all. I am the light of love. I
I will dive into each moment because I'll die as I was born. I will walk at peace, at ease and grace, and flow with the unknown. I will find the gift in everything, perfection in every way. I will bow at the altar of this and every day. I can't promise not to feel some fear or to always understand, but I'll be the change I wish to see. I will hold every hand. I am tangled up in beauty. I see clearly that it's me. I have opened up my heart and surrendered unto thee. I am the child, I am the mother, I am your bride and your lover. I am everything, great and small. I am the one, I am it all. I am the child, I am the mother, I am your bride and your lover. I am everything, great and small. I am the one, I am it all. I am the light of love. 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 I am the light of love.
I love you.
I love you too, sweetheart. Thank you so much.
I so love you. And
Thank you, dear.
everyone, I so love you. Blessings, blessings to all in this sacred, beautiful time. Have a magical time to solstice.
Peace, peace, peace. Thank you, Ali Ray.
Thank you.
Thank you, sweetheart.